Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start. It's already 2 minutes past the hour, so let's start. And as always, welcome to the Cindy Show. As you know by now, it's a bi-weekly learning series designed for an exclusive group of SysAid customers. Each 1 hour Zoom session is hosted by myself, Cindy Sivan. I'm the SysAid's Director of Customer Success, and I'm here to bring you expert tips, best practices, and support you with live Q&A to help you level up your SysAid experience. So a little bit about myself. For those of you, if it's the first time, I've been at SysAid for over 8 years now. Started off in professional services, and I've been in the customer revenue team for over 4 years now. Like I always say in the beginning, something new about me. Okay, I'm going to share something. I love Cinnabon. If you're a Cinnabon fan and you like Cinnabon, type in a yes, yes, yes into the chat. If you don't, type in a no. But I'm a big Cinnabon fan. And I really, yes, Karina, David, no, Duncan. Okay, vegan. Okay, yes. So we're seeing lots of yeses. I love it. It's definitely one of my favorites, and I don't always have access to get to Cinnabon. So thank you, Achiro, for remembering that I like chocolates, right? I feel like every week I'm sharing something about food. Maybe next week will be something different. Okay. All right. So today, we are going to be exploring the SysAid self-service portal. And the training covers everything from creating service catalog items, working on the theme, the banner. I'm going to show you how to create a knowledge base articles. I'm going to be sharing some automation tips that help reduce the workload. And this will hopefully boost your user satisfaction. So by the end of our demo, today I'm doing everything. Usually I have a guest speaker. Today I'm the one who's doing it. You'll have a clear understanding of the benefits of SysAid's self-service portal, and you'll feel more confident to make changes and enhancements. As always, there is a little bit of housekeeping. Please feel free to ask questions in the chat at any time. My team will assist in answering them. I'll also try to get them during the session as well, of course. If at any time you want to set a meeting with my team, please feel free to book a meeting, and Ella is going to post the link in the chat. And as you know by now, I'm also going to ask you a few polls and some questions for you throughout the Cindy Show. And a big thank you to my team, our chat moderators, for their support, and of course for all of you for taking the times out of your very, very busy days to be here for this session. So thank you very, very much. As you know, as always, before I usually begin and going into one or two little slides in my deck, I have a question for all of you, and it's our first poll, please, Ella. So are you using the SysAid self-service portal right now? Yes, no, or is it challenging? So let's launch the poll, Ella. Don't see it. Is it me, or can you see the poll, everyone? You can't see the poll? Let's not
Maybe I can't find it, so I'll do it in a minute.
Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Polls, quizzes. Wait, I don't want to send that. I don't want to send the wrong one. Did I just send the wrong one? Please tell me. Did I just send the incorrect poll? No. Okay. No poll. Still no poll. All right. Let me try again. There is no poll. Okay. All right, 1 second.
I will check. You can continue.
Yeah, actually, I'm not seeing it. Okay. All right. So I see that some of you have actually mentioned it in the chat. So I'm seeing lots of no's. Does that mean you're not using the self-service portal, or no, you can't see the poll? So are you using the self-service portal? Yes or no? If you can type in your answers now, that would be amazing. Some yeses, some no's. Yes to the self-service portal. Amazing. Okay, so lots of yeses, which is fabulous. And one or two no's. Okay, so it looks like the majority are using the self-service portal. And if you are, that's great. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of tips that I'm going to provide you today that's going to help you. Okay, so let's start. Thank you for taking part in the poll on the chat. So when I was in professional services, one of the biggest challenges I saw customers face was internal change management. And lots of customers would say that shifting users to a new process, especially for something like submitting tickets, can be difficult at first. However, with a bit of persistence, clear documentation, and simple video guides, sometimes we found that users gradually adapted. It does take time, but consistency and support go a long way in driving successful adoption. And I saw that, Jim, for example, you're busy with onboarding right now. Honestly, if you're more new to SysAid, I honestly think that getting your customers from the beginning to adapt to using the self-service portal is a much easier transition, as opposed to if you're in it, obviously, for a couple of years. And Jeff, self-service portal is built, but an adoption struggle, absolutely, I see it. But constant reminders and, like I said, with clear documentation, it really is going to be the best driver, especially for you guys as well. Okay, so here the poll is launched, which is fine. I'll just give you a moment just to complete. I can see about 66% are currently using it, 23% are on a no, and about 12% at the moment. It's challenging to get them to use it. Okay, which is very, very common, and I had that a lot, like I said. Okay, thank you for taking part of the poll. Thank you, Ella. I'm going to end it. That's great. Okay. Okay, so the next thing is I wanted to share this next slide with you. So this slide highlights how SysAid's self-service portal delivers an intuitive, engaging user experience. Now, not everyone is using our SysAid CoPilot, our chatbot, but this is a game changer. And with our AI-powered chatbot, users can resolve issues through natural conversations rather than complex forms. The portal centralizes all resources, such as the service catalog items, knowledge base, password resets, and announcements as well. It's all accessible in the hub. And it's always available. Think about it. The self-service portal is available 24/7, as opposed to if you're using email integration, which is also great. But you're going to see that there's a lot more benefits of using the self-service portal, which will ultimately help reduce the volume of support tickets with the ultimate goal of a positive end user experience. Okay, so let's talk a little bit further about the self-service portal before I actually go into my demo, which will be after this next slide. So firstly, it's the way for your users to access the AI chatbot. If you have our SysAid CoPilot, you're on the cloud, the self-service portal should be your 100% go-to because of the AI chatbot, okay? If they don't use the chatbot for some reason, then your admins yourselves would receive more complete forms as categories are populated, for example. So in other words, when an email is sent from email integration, your category is not defined because you can't define it on an email, right? But on the self-service portal, you can. And not only the categories, there's so many other things that you can complete in the form, which makes the administrator life a lot more efficient and easier, and that's for you. Okay, so that's the next benefit. You also have access to knowledge-based articles, and especially if you are using the bot, then you've got access. Then the knowledge-based articles will be, you can use the information from your knowledge base for the bot as well. It's also a way it's also a way to inform end users about known issues, where you can actually broadcast company announcements, and I'm going to show you all of this today. Access to workflow actions. This is a big one because this is the best way in the self-service portal for your users to access their workflow actions task in the workflow actions tab in the self-service portal. So not everyone needs an admin license to work on a workflow, and I'll show you where in the self-service portal your users can access the actual workflow actions task. Okay, and then the last one, I've got historical details of previously submitted tickets. You can see history of ticket submissions, also notes and messages created in the self-service portal. And like I said, I'll show you all of this. Okay, so just before I go on, this is a example. I know this looks a little bit blurred, but just two customer examples of how they've actually changed the banners and the theme for their self-service portal. And this looks really cool, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, and we're going to dive into the details a little bit further. Okay, so I don't see any questions yet, so let's go into the demo over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you all in spaces. In Classic, and I will switch to spaces just a little bit, just out of interest. I would love it if you could just mention in this chat if you are on spaces or if you're on Classic, just as a matter of interest. So you're on spaces, Classic, bit of both. Okay, it's really good to see there's so many people on spaces. If you are on Classic and you're in the cloud, there should be no reason. Well, I know not every customer's on spaces, but you should be going on to spaces if it's your time yet, because we're not doing it all at once. Okay, so I'm going to show you in Classic and spaces a little bit, and we'll go from there. Okay. All right, so first and foremost, if you're here, let's take you through to the bottom over here to the self-service portal, okay? And we're going to go into the self-service portal settings, and we're going to start working through this, okay? If you are in spaces, what you're going to do is you're going to go into your settings. I'm just going to close my bot, and you can see over here is the portal settings. So the page that I'm showing you here in spaces is exactly the same page that I'm going to be showing you in Classic. Okay, so let's start off with the theme, and let's start creating a new theme together. All right, so first and foremost, let's go into manage, and let's create a new theme. Okay, what I mean by theme is these are the colors of your self-service portal. Okay, so I'm going to call this Cindy Show, and when I create my own theme, I'm always going to go for different colors and pinks and things and make it a little bit different. Okay, I'm not saying that's your theme, but just to show you, if you've got the pixels. I don't know if this is called the pixels. I'm actually not sure. But if you've got the color codes, you can obviously add it in here. But I'm going to go in and I'm going to choose some different colors. And you can change the button background, the header background. Let's change my header background. Let's go to a nice soft kind of a color. And let's see, I'm going to do a little bit of a preview. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so right now you can see I've got my little reds. I changed this color. Obviously, it's not wow, but I'm just playing around with the colors. So maybe if you don't like the colors, for example, like especially this background header color, let's close it off. Let's change the header background, and let's make it, I don't know, let's make it like a darker blue, for example. Okay, we can preview it again. Okay, fine, this looks absolutely terrible, but I just want you to get the picture of how to create the themes. Okay, so I'm going to go with it. Now, when you're creating the theme, you can have different themes for different companies. So let's just say you've got different companies within your organization. You can always make this theme applicable only for company A, for example. So let's just say I had Coca-Cola. They were one of my one of the companies that I have in SysAid. I could make their theme red and do it all nice. And if I had give me an example of another one, Cinnabon. I don't know what colors are Cinnabon, but you can make the colors according to Cinnabon colors. Okay, all right. So let's save this. Okay, we've created the theme, and let's go back to the self-service portal settings, and let's update, because right now my self-service portal, let me just show you, it looks like this. And let's update and choose the theme that I want to choose, which was the Cindy show, and save it. So if I go back, I'm going to just refresh this, and you're going to see my crazy colors with my purple header and so forth. Okay, so that's how you create a theme. It's really quick and easy. And what we're going to do is I'm going to jump onto creating a banner, and then from then on, I was going to see if there's any questions in the chat. So just before I actually do show you the banner, I do want to show you what our self-service portal looks like in our Spaces account, which I think is absolutely stunning. This is where you also have the access to the chatbot. In my other accounts, I don't reference the chatbot there, but this is just another type of banner and theme that we have in my Spaces test account. Okay, so let's go back to the banner. Let's create a new banner. So over here, you're going to manage, and let's create a new banner. Okay, now let's just make this a little bit bigger. So we'll call this banner the Cindy Show as well. Now you're probably going to ask me a question, because I'm obviously going to change the picture. You're going to ask me what are the banner pixels. So if you hover your mouse, or my mouse in this case over here, you can see the recommended image resolution is 1400 by 350. Okay, so this is how you know. And then I'm just going to select a banner which I have previously, think it was this one. No, that's a logo. It was this. Okay, now let's just say I didn't have SysAid written here. You can always say welcome to, okay, if you wanted to have some writing, but in my case, of course, I'm not going to. You can have a banner link, but I can honestly say in my history of working at SysAid for all of these years, I've never put in an actual banner link. And you can decide what color, if you want it light, if you want, what color you want the text as I was typing, and what size, small, medium, or large. And I'm going to keep mine as medium, and I'm going to save it. Okay. Now that this is saved, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to select my Cindy Show banner. And then I'm going to just save it. And let's go back. Let's refresh it. And here it is, all set and ready. Okay, so it's really quick and easy to do the theme and the banner. I do want to just quickly show you, not to get off the subject, but I do want to show you something over here, that if you go into tools and into companies, this is a nice little trick that I want to share. Let's just say company A. You can actually choose the self-service portal banner and theme from this section as well. So for example, if it's the Cindy Show that we want for company A, you would literally just select it, and the theme, the Cindy Show, you would literally select it and apply it. That's how easy it is. Okay, so I just wanted to share that you have the option to set that up over here. Okay, I'll just discard this for now. Let's go back to our self-service portal. Okay, I want to see if there's any questions. Okay, any questions? I don't really see. Self-service portal. Will spaces eventually come to SysAid on-prem? I wouldn't necessarily say no, Maximilian, just by the way. But I have a question for you. And the question is, why not move to the cloud? I have heard discussions, but there's nothing set in stone with regards to that. So I would definitely, there's just so many more options in the cloud. So I would definitely look at that if you can move to the cloud. So the self-service portal, are we seeing all this for end users or for admin? Okay, I see Steph has answered. Is it possible for one company to use two self-service portals, one for IT and one for no, Hubert, you one company, and you can even see in my previous thing where I actually showed you in companies, for one specific company, it's only one specific banner. Okay, how can we incorporate our logo into the banner? So, for example, do you mean incorporate your logo over here at the top left? If that's the case, I'll actually show you now, okay, because that's a really good question. So let's go over here. It's actually not in this section. So if you're actually going to customize and if you're going to appearance, okay, this is where I selected my logo. And I'm glad that you asked, because this is what I was going to show you anyway. So I would actually going to select, choose a file under appearance, select the logo. It just happens to be the same logo because I was playing around with it today. And click on upload, and then it will be over here. Okay, if we're going to spaces, all right, let's go into settings. You're going to actually just go into, let's try appearance over here, go into appearance, and you can then go in and select the specific logo as well. And I'll choose this logo over here, upload it. Of course, don't forget to save it at the bottom. And then let's see that this definitely did save. I hope that it did. Let's try and refresh. It's the same logo anyway, but this is exactly where you're going to go and do this in the appearance section. Okay, how do you get the submit an incident and request at the top? I'm going to show you. Jose, great questions. I'm going to show you. Okay, so let's go back to the self-service portal. And okay, let's keep sending in your questions, and I'm going to get to them next. Okay, so when you have your banner, you can decide if you want to put it on the top or the bottom. Very seldom do you have your banner sitting on the bottom. I'll just show you what it looks like when I refresh. Did I save it? Hang on. I did save it. 1 second. Let's refresh. Okay, so now my banner is at the bottom. It just looks a bit weird, but I wouldn't recommend it, but that's of course up to you. Maybe that's something that you like. Okay, all right, so now customizing the widgets. So the widgets are the service catalog, the scoreboard, and the FAQ. If you want to move around the order, so let's just refresh again. If you want to move the order around, you can put the service catalog underneath the FAQs or the My Tickets. It's completely up to you. Can we change what is new to the news? Yes, I'm going to show you all of this. These are all great questions, and I'm so glad. And let's get to this now. Okay. So one thing about the news, which is really nice, is and I'll show you. Let's create something new. So let's just say I'm going to create, let's just say, for example, like a use case would be our server is going to be down on Friday between 2 and 4. And you want everyone to know this, right? So let's create a new news. Let's make it visible. And let's put server, and you're going to see with me, I always like to use lots of exclamation mark, server down. Okay. And we're just going to put Friday 2 to 4 p.m. Okay. You can even insert it at a time. So you can actually put Friday's date if you wanted to. I'll just leave it as of today. You want to show the news to all, or maybe it's just for company A. You can select that. Or if maybe it's a news bulletin for a specific group only, then you can. But let's select all. Okay. And if you want this to display the next time your users log into the self-service portal, you need to mark it as urgent news. All right. And then select save. Okay. Now, when I close this, if we go over here and I just refresh it, hang on a second, why didn't it pop out? Should have popped out, and it was obviously working perfectly when I was testing it earlier. But what happens is it does pop out, and you can see here it is. Okay. So every time when a new user, like I said, logs into the self-service portal, then the server down pops up. Now, someone did ask, how do I edit an existing news item? So you would simply go over here into news. You would you can click on this edit. Hang on a second. Actually, I don't know if you can. Let's just try this, edit. No, so you actually can't actually edit an existing news. So you'd have to create a new one. You'd probably have to just copy and paste the wording and just create a brand new one. But you can obviously remove it and delete it once it's done. Okay. Jason, you're saying click on server down. Hang on oh, you can. Thank you, Jason Lamb. Click on server down. There you go. You actually can do it. Thank you. I didn't actually know that, so that's amazing. Thanks. All right. Thank you, Jason. Maybe you're going to be an invite for one of my next Cindy shows. I think I need to have some customers on here. Okay. Thank you. There we go. So that's how you can do it. Okay. All right. So we've worked on the news. For sure have him. David, nice to see you. Awesome. Okay, so let's go onto the scoreboard. Now you can customize the scoreboard. Usually these are the tabs, and I'll show you over here what I mean. Okay, here's my scoreboard. Just want to refresh this. Okay, these are my tabs over here, and let's just say, for example, if for some very, very small reason you don't have workflow actions, you can actually remove it from here. Okay, let's just go back. Okay, so let's just say I didn't want to have workflow actions. I would literally just send this over to the side. But of course, you want to have workflow actions because this is where exactly where what I was talking about earlier, where your users can actually see if there's a task related to them for a specific workflow. Okay, so I'm going to move this back here. Okay, and I'll just cancel this, but I think you get the idea. Okay, let's jump to some more questions. Patrick, is it possible? I see that Stephanie's asked for an alert. Are you looking for some kind of a reminder? Because you could be referring to an escalation rule. If you're talking about automatically receive an alert from SysAid before the due time, that sounds like an escalation rule, Patrick. Okay. And yes, Paul, if the news is not marked as urgent, is there an indicator of users to let them know there is news they have not read? You know, there is this button over here where they can actually see that this is for your administrators at least, not for your end users. There's this, but not specifically for your users. You would need to mark it as urgent for them to see it. Okay, unless I'm wrong, but I don't believe that's the case. All right, let's continue. Okay, so FAQs, I am going to show you how to create some knowledge base articles. So let's just go in over here. I don't usually, you can go into the design form and you can add specific hierarchy of FAQs articles, and I'll show you over here what I mean. So here's FAQs. I'm just going to open up this article. And we're talking about, was this helpful? How many views if you want to see this information? Okay, so over here, we're seeing the knowledge base articles, which is great, but I want to show you how to create a knowledge base article. Okay. First and foremost, let's go over here into Service Desk, into Articles. Okay. And how do you create a new article? Let's create it from new over here. Okay, so when you're creating a knowledge base article, firstly, you can start from here, or some customers, if you're in Classic specifically, when a ticket gets closed, it gives you the option to create a knowledge base article. So over here, let's create a knowledge base article together, and let's do, for example, facilities, electricity, outage. Okay, what's the title? Let's just give it a title, electricity issue. And what is the question? Where is the main board in order for me to turn on the electricity? Okay, now don't worry, I'm not going to type out a whole long answer. I'm just going to give it the answer of A, B, C, and D. Okay, if you wanted to, you can copy and paste. Let me find a nice picture quickly on Google of an electricity board. Hang on, you can copy and paste something into the article. Okay, so I'm just going to this random electricity board over here. I'm just going to copy this, copy and paste this over here. I've added it into my article. I can make any writing bold. You can obviously play around with the fonts and so forth. I've obviously added in a little bit of the bottom of this image, doesn't matter. Now, one thing that's important is that you can actually add an expiration date, all right, into your, so let's just say this article is only specific for the server that's down on Friday at 2 o'clock. Maybe there's going to be questions pertaining to that. So you can have it expire after a few days. Something like this, you'd probably have it that it doesn't expire. Okay. And do we want to publish this in the self-service portal? Absolutely. Do we want to put a tag? Yes, sure. So the tag will be electricity. If only I could spell it right for the second time in a row. Maybe lights. What else? Electricity, lights, darkness. Okay. All right. I'm very creative today. And then I'm literally going to hit save. Okay. It's like that is how easy it is to create a knowledge base article. Hope this saved. Why is it? There we go. All right. So now here is my knowledge base article. So if we go to the self-service portal, let's refresh it again. Here is my knowledge base article that I just created, electricity issue. Here it is. Where is the main board in order for me to turn it on? And here it is. So that's how quick and easy it is. I'm going to park it off there just for a minute because there's a lot of questions, and I also see that there's questions in our Q&A section as well. So let me see if I can get to them. Steph, I see that you are posting the questions here from customers. Can we change? Or I've already answered some of these. If I may, can we please tell me if it's possible to add a customized banner for issue tracking because on my previous job, we used to have a similar portal, which enables us to have fast issue monitoring, which delays above SLA required for various issues. I think so you can only specifically have one banner, but you can make it visible for specific groups. I don't know if that's what you meant. I'm not sure who actually posted this question. Okay, Steph has asked, and Steph has answered the question for David as well. How can technicians see workflow actions in their view outside of the self-service portal? They're usually in the ticket side. And so I'll just show you quickly, because this is obviously on the end user side. If you do want to see, this is where you would see the workflow actions in the specific section. This is all of the workflow actions over here, instead of obviously you're in the help desk over here, and so forth. Okay, and let's go back to going through the show. All right. Let me just close this. Okay, so where were we? We're on our knowledge base articles. I hope that's clear for everyone, and I hope everyone understands how easy it is to create a knowledge base article. And if you're using, and if you've got the chatbot, let's just say you have created a knowledge base article, you can monitor and fine tune your chatbot to also search through knowledge base articles as well, because it's super important if you've got a long list of knowledge base articles like I have over here. Okay, let's go back. All right, so the next thing I wanted to show you is you can just customize. If you want, you can customize side by side, which I have, just how you want the scoreboard and the knowledge base articles, how you want it positioned. And then we've got the service catalog. Okay, now this is a very interesting part of SysAid, is the service catalog items, how to create it. And let's create it. So go from here, or you can go from this section. So I'm just going to select manage. Okay, so let's create a service catalog. There's a few options, there's a few things that you can do. So the first one we're going to create is a big service catalog item box. So that's the catalog item reference. Okay. Let's just call it facilities requests. Okay. And do I want to have a specific template associated with this? Absolutely. This is what's really nice about the service catalog. And do I want to change the icon? Absolutely. I'm going to change it. And I've got a little logo over here. For visibility, you can have specific service catalogs created for either for all users, or maybe, for example, for onboarding new customers, maybe you want it only specific for your HR team. So let's just say that was the use case. Then you would literally select the HR team if you want it only visible to a specific group. Okay, but for the sake of our exercise, I'm just going to make it visible for all user groups and click save. Like, seriously, that's how quick and easy it is to create a service catalog item. And here it is. All right, obviously didn't type anything in there. So let's just say, for example, I've missed some typing. Here it is. Let's go back into it. And please issue your request. Okay. And then we'll obviously simply just save it. Now, let's just say in the self-service portal, you don't want it visible over here, even though I have got another facilities request. Maybe you want it on the right-hand side down at the bottom. So you've got the option to drag and drop. So let's take this and I'm going to put it under the other facilities. Okay, quick and easy. Let's refresh and you're going to see that it's going to move. Okay, and you can see that it's moved down the row. All right, I want to show you how to create a category pointer, because this is super, super interesting. So if you've got facilities new, okay, and I'm just going to type whatever over here. If you want category-driven templates, this is where you can actually put the category that's associated with this specific facilities request. So what's nice about it is that your users won't have to go in and select a specific category. The categories will be there automatically for them. So this makes your user more efficient, and it also will help administrators like yourselves don't have to start changing categories and so forth. Okay, so let's just put, for example, facilities. What's the subcategory? Electricity, and the third level category, outage. Again, I've already shown you how to do the icon, and let's just save it. I'm not going to do it now. Okay, it's called facilities new. Let's go back here. Okay, here it is. So when I click on it, electricity issue. Okay, that's very interesting. The knowledge base article came up, amazing. But I also want to submit an incident. Can you see that the category driven template, can you see the categories populated automatically? Okay, so this really helps with efficiency. And so that your users don't have to start going down your list of categories. Okay, so that's how you create a category pointer. If you want to put a link, this is actually quite nice. This is something that you might want to do. If you want to put a link, let's just say it's to your internal intranet. So let's just say let's just put SysAid website. Okay, and we're going to put a link to our internal website. Okay, the target URL. So let's just put sysaid.com. So let's just put the URL in here. Control C. You're going to put it over here. Okay. Again, give it an icon, save it. And if we refresh it, let's just go back. Where is my, did I save it? I did. Why am I not seeing this? Hang on a second. There we go. Okay. Somehow I just had to click on the service catalog to refresh. So when you click on it, it'll take you straight to the sysaid.com website. So maybe you've got an intranet or something like that that you want to use. So you can always add in a link over there. Okay. I just want to make sure everyone's following me that's in spaces. So for example, you would be over here under service catalog items. It's over here, and you're going to go into this specific section over here and do exactly what I'm doing now, add new. And you're going to have your options as well. Okay, so instead of finding it in SysAid in Classic, you can just type it into the search, and that's how you can do it in spaces. Okay, time flies. We've only got 15 minutes left. I just want to see if there's any questions. I see, Sri, can we format the description text, please, the color? I don't believe so, Sri. No, I've never, unless it's some kind of custom development, but I don't believe you can change the color. Are there any plans to overhaul the knowledge base UI and editor? So Maximilian, I do want to show you something. So this is your knowledge base article, right? If you go into over here into, I think it's in appearance, you can switch to the list view, but this is only going to be for your administrators, I believe. For knowledge base articles. So if I select the list view for your knowledge base and save, when you go and create a knowledge base article from here, you see this over here at the bottom right, it says switch to list view. You click on it, and then you can actually create knowledge base articles from here So it looks like this in a list view, as opposed to the actual view. Are we going to change it on this specific section on the self-service portal? No, I think especially now with a lot of AI, I definitely think that we wouldn't necessarily change this. I know it sometimes can feel like it needs a bit of an overhaul, but at the end of the day, you do want to be hopefully in spaces utilizing the chatbot, and it will bring in your knowledge base articles if you've asked a question. Okay. Let's go back. Hope that was helpful. And chatbot is not the answer to everything. Chatbot is not the answer to everything. Absolutely not. For some, we've got so many customers that are utilizing it, and that's why I'm showing you as well today how to use and create service catalog items and so forth, because we have a lot of customers who might not be ready for using the chatbot, and then you would simply just follow what I'm doing now in the self-service portal to make it your own. Okay. All right. So if we go back, you can have a custom iFrame, and I want to show you what it looks like. If you click on this, I don't know if anyone knows what a custom iFrame actually is. What a custom iFrame is you can embed a custom iFrame from an external URL into the self-service portal. So if I just click on it over here, I'm just embedding our SysAid help desk. Okay, this is our SysAid help desk in here. I've clicked on it. I'm going to save it. And if I refresh it over here, this is the custom iFrame over here at the bottom. Okay, so if this is something that you do want to add into your self-service portal, I have to say, when I was in professional services, I very seldom added it in, but just in case you wanted to, if anyone wants to even type a use case, that would be amazing if you are using a custom iFrame. Okay, so questions also from the beginning, Steph, that I believe that you did help. So there's a few things that you can do. You can actually I'm going to show you how to, if you want to remove your incident submission button, you would simply just remove it or add it. So to the gentleman, I believe you asked in the beginning, you are going to advanced settings. Make sure these boxes are checked, because if they're not checked, you're going to see it's going to take my buttons away. And you're going to see these buttons are going to be removed really quickly. And you can see they've gone. Okay, so this is where in advanced settings, you would add in the enable incident submission and request. If you are using the chatbot, I would suggest that you actually do remove the buttons. That's out of best practice. Everyone can decide for themselves. But of course, if you rather want them to use a chatbot, you can remove it. And this is where you would remove it. Now, something that's really nice is there's a service record view, which is over here. Okay, this is your service record view. Now, as a user, you can add notes, okay, or send messages to the administrator from the self-service portal. I don't know if any of you know that. So if you add a note, you can say help with 1,000,000 exclamation marks and submit the note. Okay, this is ticket number 40396. Let's just go back here and find it in my service desk. 40396. Here it is. And you're going to see the note that I've just written that said help. Okay, super important for every single person on this call. If you have notes that notes is a field that both the user and the administrator can see. So if I'm an administrator and I'm about to say that, wow, she is in a really bad mood today, and you as an administrator write the note, save it, be very, very careful, because you're going to see that the note is visible over here. So you always want to maybe have a different custom field, as in maybe internal fields, so that you don't make mistakes like this. Or you can remove the note from here. And let's just say there are specific fields in here that you want to add, like request time or remove the modify time. This is where you'll do it. If we go back here. Now, I know that I've given you all a lot of information. Let's just put our things back. This is where you would go and add and remove the fields. Okay. All right, let's save this for now. I want to get to some questions, but I would like a poll. Ella, if you could launch, I think it's the second, oh no, it's the third poll. Which, if you can, because we've swapped them around, which of these new features presented today do you see yourself implementing in the future? What can you, I'll give you a minute to respond. Yes, you can use the activity fields in Classic for private notes. Absolutely, Steph. I thought we had it configured only for admin users can see the notes. You can actually, you can have it configured. Amber, I would double check just to see how you've configured this, just to 100% make sure that, because you can remove notes from the service record section over here. You can go into advanced settings and remove the notes, which is here, and just send it over to the left-hand side. Absolutely, you can. But some customers don't always do that. So if you've done that, then fabulous. Okay, thank you for answering the questions. I'm going to read the poll, obviously, after the show. Something that I would really like to ask you, and if we can just spend 2 minutes before we do anything else, it's our next poll. Ella, I really want to help you all with regards to subjects for our Cindy shows. There's a lot of customers that like to join. So Ella, if you can launch the poll, what subjects would you like covered in some of the upcoming Cindy shows? Now, there may be newcomers that are joining for the first or second time. But I'd really like you to, I'm going to keep this poll open for quite a few minutes. If you would like to add in subjects for the next shows, because I would obviously like your feedback, and I listen to all of you, so that would be amazing. And just to go back to our, I do have a really nice customer success story here, which I'm going to link to. This is a customer who's recently, who's just literally gave us a success story today from the University of Albany, who had challenges with the self-service portal. And right now, they were flooded with emails, and they've got their students all using the self-service portal. Tickets are categorized by topic in a round-robin sequence. So I showed you how to do the category pointers. SysAid lets staff categorize requests, merge duplicates. You can go into our section, and I'll just post this link in this chat if you want to read a little bit more about this customer's use case. But it's really good to see that this is a customer who really actually, the results of the self-service portal was a higher satisfaction, 100% self-service, and faster responses. Okay. I also want to remind you, for anyone who's new, I would like to remind you that we've got the Cindy's Lounge in Slack, which isn't commonly used, and I'd love it for you guys to ask questions in our Slack channel called the Cindy's Lounge. So if I'm just going to post the link, or you can use this QR code. This is the link to let you join. I'm going to put this, unable to accept. All right. I'm going to put this in the Slack channel. If you would like to be part of this Cindy's Lounge, please just type yes, Cindy's Lounge in the chat now. That would be amazing. But we really do like to discuss a lot of topics in the Cindy's Lounge, but everyone seems to be a little bit shy when it comes to typing their messages. Yes, Todd, Amber, amazing. What I'll do is I'm going to send you I will send you an invite from Slack. You're going to get an invitation from me, and I will make sure that you can join our Cindy's Lounge, which is great. I'm seeing a lot of people tapping yes. But if you join, please do not be shy. Okay. And last but not least, as you know, we have a referral program. If you refer a friend to start using SysAid, you get a $25 voucher. If they attend a demo, you get a $50 voucher. And if they become a SysAid customer, you get $750. So I'm going to put the referral link in here into our chat as well. Over here, if you do have anyone who wants to become a SysAid customer, we would love the reference. And of course, what's in it for you? You get really good vouchers here. And last but not least, with just 2 minutes to spare, and I'm seeing people are dropping off, would you like your account manager to contact you? Ella, if you can put in the last poll. The link for the next Cindy show. Cliff, it's nice to see you. We were messaging each other on Slack, I believe. I'm going to send you the link for the next Cindy show, which is actually going to be next week. And then there'll be another one on the 30th. So give me 1 second just to find the link. And I will post it in the chat. But in the meantime, if you would like an account manager to contact you, please complete the poll. Landing page. Oh, there we go, Ella. Thank you. I was struggling to find it. There we go. Amazing. Please, if you would like to join our next Cindy show is going to be a little bit specific. It's going to be step-by-step process of how we actually set up the end user bot and the SysAid CoPilot. So it's focused on AI. Okay, amazing. So what can I say? Thank you. I always love to hear feedback. If this was helpful to you, if it wasn't, if you knew it already, you can even say that, I don't mind. And if you want to think about Cinnabons and send me pictures of Cinnabons, join our lounge. I'm happy, but I'm glad to hear it was a good refresher, and I appreciate all of your engagement. And of course, to my chat moderators and all of you, you guys are great. Thank you and have a great day. Bye, everyone.